Hello guys, we are at Bacchanal Buffet in Caesar's Palace, and I have the best seat ever, but I can't show you because it's on the other side, right by the pool. So it's packed and it's gonna be difficult to show you the dishes, but I tell you straight up, if you don't have time to look at this video, I'll tell you straight up that it's still the best and it's getting better, because last year there was a little bit of a slip up, and you know it's gonna happen again. You know, it's difficult to maintain top level quality in terms of how it's cooked, how it's presented, and how it's kept, and how it's kept warm, and how it's not going to be overcooked, and how it's laid out. It's a little bit messy. This is the starting from one end, and this is the Asian section. Anyway, so far, I have to admit, I haven't gone back to Bellagio and Aria, and I will do so in just a couple of days. But so far, I really think that this is still the best buffet in Vegas. It is, I mean, this is lunch, and it's $40, 40. Is it worth $40? Absolutely. Of course, you have something to, isn't this funny? You're gonna get to see this. You have to bear in mind something. What you have to bear in mind, guys, is that are you going to be able to eat $40 worth of food? Because I cannot. I used to, not anymore. So for me, if I weren't, you know, I would be just about tasting, sampling something that, and it's going to be sampling because there are too many things. Please don't pile up one thing only, because if you do that, you will miss out on everything else. So try and have a little bit of everything, just a little bit of everything. And then if you really find something that you want a lot of, then you can go back, because it's not going to be taken away, right? Some people pile it up as if it was the only thing left. And, you know, I guess it's some sort of survival human nature, as if you are the only one. That's the only trip that you have to make, you know, I don't know. Nonetheless, the Asian food, like every single other item at Bacchanal, with a couple of exceptions that I'll tell you in a bit, is outstanding. For a buffet in particular, it's outstanding. The way the chefs need to prepare this and the ingredients in a way that it stays practically crisp and fresh on these hot plates is phenomenal. Yeah, don't put forks here. It's kind of unhygienic. Everything is absolutely fantastic, and it's going to be difficult for me to tell you anything else, because it is. There are a couple of exceptions, and I'll tell you when I get there. You have your sushi section, which is the best with regards to Vegas buffets, with the exception of Todai Sushi Buffet, which is dedicated sushi. My favorite's gone. They don't have my favorite anymore. You know when they just go, you can tell that people here are supposedly civilized, but it's just as if it's the only thing left. So just as I said, sample of one little thing and one little thing and one little thing, and come back. Beef curry, if you like it. Spicy catfish, even if you don't, I mean, basically, oh, here there was a beef curry. Oh yes, sorry. Doesn't look like it, does it? There are no vegetables and no soup. There's just the beef. Pad Thai was really good. And you know what? How difficult it is to make really good Pad Thai and have it kept delightful in there? It's very difficult. It's an art. And they've mastered it. What I like about Bacchanal, not only is it that most of the items that I sample are great, well cooked, well combined. It's also, what I like also is that they have an incredible selection of items. The only thing I think which is pretty bad for this buffet, I mean, it's the salad section. I mean, you just get your little lettuces, and then you've got your dressings, and I don't even see extra virgin olive oil there. which is odd. And there should be something pre-made by a chef so that, you know, it tastes really good. And that's what I'm lamenting. I guess most people don't care. They don't come here for salads. But I have to tell you, if you eat all this stuff, you have to have some veggies in your stomach. Otherwise, you won't be feeling good. Hummus and pizza, spicy jicama citrusata. It's okay. Something like this I could do without, frankly. Potato salad. Do we really need a potato salad? I guess so, to stuff a salad. Tabbouleh was okay, actually. Nothing special. The cheeses are great. In fact, I think the salad section altogether is the worst in this buffet. So you'll be happy, right? Because you don't care about salads, right? Some of you said, I don't care about salads. So this is the worst. I've had better tasting salad areas, but they are neglected because people tend to come to buffets and they want to pile up on the meat and the fish. I don't know where I come from. Good vegetables are expensive. I don't know where you guys come from, but where I come from, good salads are expensive. Anyway, Parmigiano, goat cheese, and amazing gourmandise cheese. It's with nuts, cheese and nuts, and something else that I don't know. I was a little bit reticent, and then I had it, and I had more and more and more, and now I wish I hadn't because it's too much. Blue cheese, absolutely phenomenal. And of course, it's also very well presented. I have already done several videos of Bacchanal, so I tend to take things for granted. But for those who watch this for the first time, it's excellently well presented. Excellently well presented. Here you've got your bresaola, and you know, I'm gonna have some more. You know how expensive bresaola is? Of course, let me tell you, I'm a connoisseur. It's not the best bresaola you can have. If you go to Italy and buy bresaola, it's better. And I've actually found really high-end bresaola somewhere else in Vegas, and unfortunately, right now, I can't remember. And the pizzas here are very good, and for a buffet, they're very, very good. When I started, the first thing I had was the white pizza at the end with very flavorful mushrooms. I don't know if you can see it at the very end. I'll show you. And it was a little bit, it had been sitting there for too long, so it was a little bit hard to eat, which I don't like that. I like pizza, even if it's thin, it has to be soft. But not undercooked. You see, it's an art. It's an art to have soft but cooked pizza. I'm gonna have some of this bresaola again. You know, guys, Vegas buffets is the only time when I actually eat meat. I used to eat meat in the past. And since I have to, because I'm sampling everything, I am making the most of it, as they say. No, actually, it's a choice, and it's not a must for me. Here you've got the Italian section, and for a change, the Italian section is actually very flavorful. Well cooked, delicious, delightful, not overcooked, as I said. Here you've got pumping gnocchi. Gnocchi is a gorgeous Italian dish made of potatoes, but you know, you really have to know how to make it. It looks a little bit fried gnocchi, which I don't tend to eat fried gnocchi. Anyway, penne arrabbiata, they weren't spicy enough. They were not spicy enough, but they were really nice. And gemelli pasta, it's kind of a white sauce. And this one, truffle scallop potatoes, were really excellent. The quality that you would expect from a gourmet restaurant. I hope I'm not shaking too much because I'm holding it with my left hand. Maybe I should swap. I'm holding my camera. Okay, now, can you see where the light is? The beautiful windows. That's where I'm sitting. I am so thrilled. I have tried to sit there for a long time, and this time, I didn't even ask now. I wasn't even thinking about it. The best seats ever. Very rare, very, very hard to get. Okay, now this. Ba-bam! The street tacos. You know, every single buffet has a Mexican section. This is some good Mexican section. I love those street tacos. You have to see them. I don't know if there are any presented there. No, there are none. There are none. They've eaten them all. I'm going to actually pause and see if I can show you better. So it's rare, as I said, that you can eat delightful Mexican food in a Vegas buffet. But here you can. I was actually The street tacos are mouth-watering. They're prepared over there. Can you see them? Can you see them a little bit? Because I'm struggling here. This is a big lineup for the meat. And then when they're prepared, they're placed here, and they're placed with a variety of seasoning. And the meat is tender, perfectly cooked, mouth-watering. And then, of course, they add accompaniments to make them absolutely divine. I just want to show you one. See how they're prepared? Can you see it? And even the tortilla is very, very good. And then, of course, what they do, they heat it up properly, and I suspect they season it as well. The problem is that you see the lineup. This is the lineup for the meat. And even if you're not interested because you've already had it, for example, you're going to have to struggle getting through to the other section. I don't know, maybe they could make this a different layout, but I don't think it's possible. It's just too busy. Very, very busy. The downside of the Bacchanal Buffet is that it's busy. At the end, you almost want to walk out even without eating. Well, almost, okay? I'm not going to be able to show you the tacos, so I'm going to move on. Maybe later. Okay, now they're preparing for lunch, and here they had breakfast they're preparing for dinner. And here for breakfast and lunch they had, see how people are struggling to the last one? They had juices, but they're not freshly squeezed. In my opinion, it's a mix between freshly squeezed and water or concentrate. They used to be freshly squeezed. Tomatoes, the soups are delicious. Save yourself some space for the soup, guys. New England clam chowder, which was okay, which was good. And broccoli soup, which is divine. Guys, save yourself for some healthy stuff. These kind of, they're good, but in my opinion, they're fillers and I don't need them. Oh yeah, look, I'll show you the meat section from here because that's as good as it's gonna get. Can you see it? People are lining up desperately for it. It's good, well cooked, very fresh. With the kind of demand, it's going to be fresh. But at least there is quality control. You see? I want to show you this. At least you get to see that, right? And now, this other side of the meat section. And more meat. Then you've got cooked vegetable section here. And some more potatoes. And here you have chicken waffles. It looks like the chicken has disappeared and the waffle has remained. And then you've got sweet potato tots, some deep fried stuff, waffle fries. I wouldn't recommend. They're nice, but it's gonna make you so full. And then here you've got crispy fish sandwiches. What it is, it's like a burger, a fish burger. I don't know why they call sandwiches, a fish burger. And here you have delightfully presented roll sole Grenoble. I haven't had these yet because these are coming for dinner. I think we're on the cusp. But everything else I had was good, with the exception that I told you. Roasted tomatoes, crawfish boil. No, there are things that I haven't tried because I just can't fit in it all. Even if I have one item of each, you still tend to feel a little bit overwhelmed. Butter toast clams. Oh, and delightful seafood paella, which there's none left. Delightful. And by delightful, it's the rice is well cooked, the flavorings are perfect, and what can you say? For a buffet, it's phenomenal. You expect this quality at a really good restaurant. At a good restaurant, you expect this quality, but never in a buffet. But of course, this buffet is extremely expensive. And some of you will not want to pay this money and will think it's not worth it because ultimately, I don't think you can eat $40 worth of food, But it is also the flavor. It's the flavor. Oh, yes, and I have to show you the dessert section. I'm struggling, guys. I'm so full. I'm holding a plate of bresaola. And that's what happens, Make sure you give yourself, make a plan. If you stuff yourself, you may not be able to walk very far, which is probably what they're counting on, so that you stop at the casino. Here you've got a crepe to order, and unfortunately, I just don't have any space. And here, delightfully, they have bananas. Sometimes in these crepes, they don't even have bananas, but they do here, of course. I want to show you the dessert section relatively briefly, but I want to stop to tell you what's really amazing, what's really mouth-watering. Okay, so I have to struggle, but here you'll be very happy to see that they have a version of lava cake. It's called chocolate fondant cake. It's a little bit not milky chocolate enough for me. It's a little bit more like dark chocolate, but it's delicious. Chocolate lovers will love it. And to me, they were all good. These things were so good, all of them. These jasmine rice pudding, can you see it? Was divine. I mean, I was full and I had 2 of them. Really divine. The music has changed. Before they had really nice relaxing jazz music, but I suspect they want us out. And when they want us out, they put this type of music. Not because it's bad, but because it makes you want to get up and do stuff. It's all psychological, guys. And then you've got delightful gelato, a really lovely array of gelato selections. I'm sorry. Yeah, very popular. I'm going to try and see if I can show you from this end. And so it is a pretty substantial dessert section. It's I think it's going to be difficult for you to try everything, remember that. So just go for little things, perhaps even share them if you are with somebody else, and share little bits, little mouthfuls. You don't want to waste too much food either, right? And then when you find something that you really have to have a lot of, then go for it. But I would hate it if you just missed on something, you know. Maybe you can skip on some desserts, but you don't want to miss on some delightfully prepared hot dishes. I'm going a very oh, that's where I'm sitting. Isn't that lovely? This is my seat. I don't want to show it to you too well because it's messy, but isn't it lovely? Okay, guys. The service is good, of course. You expect that. And this, you know, they probably don't have that many tables to tend to, so it's attentive. You expect that for $40, right? I have nothing to fault. I mean, I have to admit they have done a good job. They slipped up a little bit last year, maybe, or maybe a little bit earlier on than that. And I expect they'll slip up again a little bit, maybe in the future, because you know all it takes is like a couple of chefs moving on. And in the interim period, it might suffer a little bit, right? So, but so far, it's phenomenal, really. If you want to taste good, if you want to feast your palate, then by all means come to Bacchanal. And then after that, it's going to be difficult to eat at not so good buffets, you know? Which means I suggest you leave Bacchanal for last, unless you want to keep coming here. There are a couple of other very good buffets that we talk about on top-buffet.com. And we do have a top 5 buffet section, which we do update because things change. Things change, guys. Do not take anything for granted, okay? Don't take anything for granted. And for any other tips and tricks, we've got so many tips and tricks. Things have changed so much and so fast. Check our top-buffet.com website. This is May 2015, and we are updating the website, and we plan the updates to be completely done by the end of May 2015. So if you actually watch this after that, you should have all the updates ready. And if you have any questions, you don't hesitate to contact us through our contact form on the website. We will try and answer your questions here, but we have to tell you it's getting more and more difficult. We love all your comments, but replying to them is getting a little bit difficult, especially because I don't find YouTube that user-friendly. It's good, but it's not that easy to reply and keep track of where those messages belong to and so forth. I just have such limited time to do so, so I apologize, but I do read them all because that's easier. I read them all. And don't take it personally if I cannot reply personally, okay? I have read your message, and I thank you for that. And for something, you know, detailed or something personal that you want to write, you know, something about your experience you want to share, you can do so here, but you can also do it on our contact form on top-buffet.com. Okay, guys, I see you there. Bye-bye. This is an addendum to the Bacchanal Buffet. I am not doing it from Bacchanal, I'm doing it from Aria. And this is the proof. I have to have this addendum because I want to say this. Having eaten again at other good quality buffets, I am questioning whether the $40 lunch tag for the Bacchanal Buffet is worth it. Because you really have to think of what you're eating. And here at Aria, for example, and the same can be said for MGM Grand now. First of all, Aria is beautiful, and the buffet area is beautiful, and you can see their pool there, which is also beautiful. But you have more variety here. So I am going to have to backtrack a little bit and explain things a little bit more in terms of, well, comparatively speaking. And for that, I'll do that on top-buffet.com in the section about Bacchanal. Bye-bye, guys. And this is Aria, by the way. I had to have an addendum from this area because that's where I'm eating right now. And I've been thinking about it. Okay, guys, bye-bye. I wanted to finish saying what I was saying about Bacchanal. I'm sorry, guys, because I'm thinking, and I don't want you to miss out on recommendations or ideas. This buffet is lunch at Aria, and then I'm going to have dinner too. I'm going to have a dinner review as well. And yes, okay, I was comped because of my Vegas, but and we can talk about that on top-buffet.com. You can read all about it. But what I wanted to say is that this buffet is $23 for lunch, whilst Bacchanal is $40 for lunch. And I really am questioning if it's worth paying that much. This buffet is delightful. There is no reason why this buffet is less. So I think the Bacchanal are actually, I mean, yes, they serve delicately prepared meals, but they're all very heavy and carb-filled. So, you know, the healthy choice is just not really there. And I guess people go to Bacchanal for meat, and mostly for meat from what I saw. But you have meat here, and it's good. And here I'm in at Aria. So I'm sorry for me, I don't want to confuse you. This is an addendum to the Bacchanal review. But I wanted to say that if you are trying all the good buffets, then by all means, come. But if you are on a budget and want to try a couple of really, really good buffets, you do not need to eat at Bacchanal to have an amazing experience, okay? And I'm going to go in detail on top-buffet.com, both in the dedicated sections about the single buffets, but also on the top 10 buffets in Vegas page. Okay, guys, see you there. Bye-bye.